Welcome to Flying High, an 8-week vlog journaling my life as a ticketing and gate agent. One of the ways I afford to travel with a family of 4 is by working for an airline. So I thought it would be fun to bring you guys along on my ride home and share about my day. So don't be shy. If you already work for an airline, introduce yourself and say hi. If you might want to work for an airline, go ahead, hit me up with those questions. And if you're just a passenger and you just want to know more, you're in the right place. I'll answer those questions too. Good morning, welcome to week 2 of Flying High. This is actually my very first early morning shift, which means I had to get up way before anybody should. All right, first morning shift done. The great thing about the morning shifts is that they're so busy. It's not like I'm sitting around tired, even if I didn't get more than 2 hours of sleep last night. So let's rewind just a little bit. I work for an airline that you probably have not heard of, but we operate aircraft for 2 airlines that you have definitely heard of. So all last summer and then the beginning of this summer, they've mostly put me on one of the airlines. So I asked yesterday if I could be put on the other one because I don't like feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, and at some point I am going to get thrown over there and I would like to know what I'm doing. So today I got to work with one of our supervisors and she is amazing. Everybody here knows her name. They ask to see her when they come in, and she was great and just taught me everything I need to know. So I'm feeling better for this summer. It gets really busy in July, so hopefully I am set to go now and know what I'm doing on both airlines. All right, time for my afternoon shift. This morning I was a little out of it afterwards, sorry about that. I did go back to bed and get some more sleep, so I'm feeling great now. And we will, I guess, see how it goes this afternoon. Hopefully non-eventful. Okay, so we had a little interesting situation today. We had a passenger that came in to check in for her flight, but she did not take the first leg of her flight. And so, you may not know this, but if you have a flight and for some reason you end up driving the first leg, you're getting there some other way, it cancels your whole ticket because it looks like a no-show. So if for some reason that ever happens on your ticket, you want to be sure to call the airline and let them know. So we called and they said she had to buy a whole nother ticket. Long story short, they had a death certificate. There was extenuating circumstances, and they ended up overriding that and getting her back on. But just in general, if you don't have a death certificate, you might want to be sure to call ahead and just let them know what's going on and to take that leg out, and then your other leg will be saved. Hey guys, I have Becca here with me today. She's one of my coworkers and she's carpooling with me today. So we had quite a crazy bank of flights this afternoon. I had a poor family that showed up. I had 3 of them there. One guy was not there, the dad wasn't there. And I waited until 8 minutes prior and I had to close the flight, and she was crying and I felt so bad because I really wanted to get them on, but we can't hold and make the plane late and delay everybody else for a family. And let's see, what else? What did you have on your flights today?
Well, we had another family that was going to Orlando, Florida. They were going to Disney World, and they showed up this morning. They did not get here in time, and in order to check bags, you have to be there early enough. We say 30 minutes is the cutoff, but if there's a line, so you'd want to be here. And in the morning, they have more than one flight going out at the same time. So the lines are much longer, TSA much longer. So we say 2 hours.
For a reason, people.
2 hours.
2 hours.
For a reason. So they missed it, and the little kid was in tears, and the mom was in tears, and so the dad was a little bit upset. But I just said, enjoy your vacation. You're getting there today, and so that was lucky that they could actually get on the flight today. Sometimes in the summer here, it takes 2 or 3 days to get out.
Yeah, so they were really lucky to just be getting in 5 hours late.
Yeah.
They thought it ruined their vacation, but they don't know how bad it could have been. And then we had this weird thing with these helicopters that came and they just hovered
right over the
Four of them?
taxi. Yeah, over the taxi lane. And an aircraft actually took off behind them on the runway.
Yeah. So interesting day. So just a little bit more detail about that family. They were, I guess, in the boarding area, and he went back out to get food and didn't make it back. And the worst part was I waited and waited and waited, and I was down to the 8 minutes, and I didn't think I could wait anymore. I called to our operations, and they said no, I had to unseat them and let the plane go. And so I went and I unseated them, and pretty much the minute I finished with that and printed my paperwork, he showed up. So that made it even worse, because they see me and they see the plane there and they're like, just let us on. But what I think a lot of passengers don't realize is that once that paperwork is done and I've unseated them, it would take a while to get them back. I'd have to reassign their seats and then reboard them and then redo the paperwork. And at that point, there's not enough time. Fortunately, I knew we did have some open seats on a flight leaving an hour later to San Francisco. We got them rebooked on that, and they got into LA not too far after their original scheduled time. So it was a little stressful for them and for me, but we got it all worked out. Good afternoon. Another Saturday, another crazy day. I am exhausted. I think those flights kicked my butt a little bit today. I think made it just on time on the first one. So many weird things. People came up, I think, wanting to switch flights from one flight to another last minute. And I had a pilot come in off this one that needed a ride back that wasn't listed, so I had to get him listed and also board. And as the only agent, like I don't have enough hands. So anyways, we got it out, but woo-wee, I'm tired. And actually everything went on time today, again. So fingers crossed, turning out to be a great summer so far. Okay, I also forgot to tell you that my least favorite part of the day was when the flight attendant yelled at me for a misunderstanding. And I apologized like 4 times. And then even the whole rest of the time after boarding, she was just really unfriendly, and there's no need for that. I get you don't know what's happened with somebody's day. Mine personally had been crazy, so I get that, but we're on the same team, so we need to work together and treat each other nicely so we can get these passengers, these wonderful paying passengers, on their flight and off to their destination safely. That's all. That's my rant. Bye. Hey guys, I just had a couple little moles removed this morning, so they took those and left me with these. Fun. But anyway, hopefully just for a day of those. I got to work gate with this on my face. But everything went pretty well today. Just a couple new challenges for us this summer. Connection flights. We are normally an end-line station, which just means typically our passengers either depart here or they end up here. But this summer we actually have some connections from Los Angeles and San Francisco through to Chicago, which has proven a little bit of a new challenge for our ramp crew with those connecting bags, because that's not something we've typically had in the past. So shout out to our ramp crew for kind of thinking on their feet and figuring out some new processes this summer along with the rest of us. I know those rampers work hard and we appreciate them. Also, another thing that we had was a lady trying to check in. She was traveling through Canada, but she wasn't staying in Canada. She had her passport, but she needed a Canadian visa, a transit visa, which she did not have. So just as a reminder, it's your responsibility as the passenger to make sure you have all the documents you need before you come, and if not, you will be able to take your flight and we'll have to rebook you, and you will be very sad. There is a link on my 10 things you should know before you go blog that takes you to the site that says that, or just Google it, kind of documents needed for travel. And then you'll have to enter in your passport information, your country, what's it called? You know, where you're a citizen, your citizenship, and a bunch of other information, and then where you're going, where you're transiting through, and it will just come back with lists of everything you need before you arrive at the airport for your flight. So keep that in mind when you book your flights. You definitely want to check out what paperwork you need before you show up at the airport. That's it for today, guys. See you later.